starting point behind the book was to understand what we call the small s within the BRICS. So BRIC, capital, enormous countries, ranked number 1 or 2 or 3 in terms of land mass, in terms of population. South Africa probably number 30 in terms of all those different spaces. How could South Africa compete with them, firstly? And secondly, what could South Africa learn from them? So we went to each of those countries with a different perspective in mind. It wasn't just to understand Brazil, but Brazil within the construct of BRICS, Brazil within relationship to South Africa. And I think we pulled out some good lessons. So I think the lessons are very clear, and it will be true for all the BRICS, but South Africa certainly kind of stands out in certain ways because they've got some unbelievable strengths. I mentioned the World Economic Forum Global Competitive Survey. We rank in the top 10 in so many different areas, but also in the bottom 10. One's great, strengths you need to protect, others are weaknesses we have to improve. In fact, we set a challenge to the South African government, to the country. Call it a big, hairy, audacious goal. Why don't you drop our global competitiveness positioning, improve it by 20 places every 5 years? How do you do that? Protect your strengths and work on your weaknesses. So we came up with 5 conclusions at the end of the day. The first one, we have to sort out unemployment in this country. Sitting at 25% official unemployment, probably closer to 30% unofficial, unacceptable. It's a scar, it's an embarrassment, it shouldn't be. We need to dedicate a lot of policy to sorting that out. Secondly, we need to sort out and fix education. Thirdly, we need growth. We need to grow this pot. We can't just be redistributing it up between different parts of it. We need sustainable growth. We need inclusive growth. We need to bring everyone together. We're actually competing with a lot of people in the world. We can't look backwards. We're competing with our neighbors to the north of us, many parts of Africa, and Mauritius outperforming us. So it shouldn't happen. We need to sort out education. I think I mentioned that one. We need to reduce financial repression, all those things that stifle economic activity, red tape, corruption, stuff like that certainly doesn't help. And I'm sure we've got more to add, but those are probably some of the key drivers. They certainly are doable. With the right policy intent, I think we can get there. What we worry about in the book is entitled Halfway There. So it's kind of, if you wanted a soccer analogy, we're sitting here at half time. We could win this game, we could lose the game, could draw the game. But I think the most disappointing would be to lose a game and do it by scoring own goals. So we've got to avoid doing that.